Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for being part of this weather community, taking your time out of your day to hang with me and go over the forecast. A lot going on this winter in particular because of El Nino. I want to show you that, how it ties into our forecast and how it even ties into our forecast with a bigger storm system this weekend and another one next week. Now, El Nino, it's in place. A few months ago, I did a video with my winter outlook, and it's kind of coming true, and we'll see that this weekend. I'll dive into that further, but you see here, Eastern Pacific, a sign of El Nino. We have that very warm weather. It looks like El Nino could be at its peak right now. Well, what the heck does that mean? Warmer water, warmer than average water right here. Well, that impacts what's going on across the globe. Now, historically, or at least climatologically, what happens with an El Nino winter, well, you get these certain patterns. They're just kind of on average. They don't typically happen in every El Nino, but one thing we are seeing out of this is that very strong Pacific jet. We've seen one front after another, basically a jet stream. What we're looking at here is the storm track just kind of rolling in to parts of Mexico. We've been seeing it across the western United States, clipping by the northern Caribbean. And what I was talking about in my winter forecast, that we'd see big snows up toward parts of New England, and that's exactly what we're going to see this weekend, even potentially next week. Now, let me show you how it plays into our weather across the Caribbean. Well, with that stronger kind of storm track just to the north of us, that keeps us wetter than average in our northern zones. This is still going to be the case. Now, it doesn't mean, let's take Jamaica. For us, example in Jamaica, it doesn't mean we're going to have rain constantly. It just means as a whole, as we go over the next couple months, and then eventually we look back, we're going to have above average rain. We actually need to get some rain in many spots. So above average rain doesn't mean we're going to have a lot, but in our northern zones, southern zones, drier and hotter than average. And we've seen that. We've already seen that. So we're starting to really see this come into play. For example, here's our water vapor showing the orange shading. That's very dry conditions in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And that's generally what we've had. Now, look at the U.S. Once again, I mentioned that strong jet stream, that southern storm track. That's exactly what we're seeing going on with this system moving into Louisiana. Big system. This is the one that is going to feed on some of the water, even the above average water temperatures in the Atlantic, and then kind of work its way up as a nor'easter into parts of New England and close to the Atlantic region of Canada. That's what I was highlighting when I did my winter outlook, that this would be the bullseye for some heavier snows, and that's what we're going to start to see. We're going to see that this weekend and as we go over the next few weeks. Now, that plays into the weather down here, because as these systems get a little bit closer, they change our wind direction. Sometimes they bring us some rain. So let me show you the big picture, and then I want to zoom down. This is today. Here's that storm system right here. You see the rain stretching into the Gulf. A few days ago, I mentioned the choppier seas. There's the tail end of the system. This one mainly stays to the north of the Caribbean, although Florida, Bahamas, we're going to see some rain, some storms out of this on our Saturday, and then some of that cold air wrapping in. Scranton, Pennsylvania, right up near Worcester, Massachusetts, some heavier snow, keeping an eye in Nova Scotia as well. This system builds up, and you see the tail end of the front. That's how it plays into our weather. This front kind of diminishes, some showers possible, especially in the northern Bahamas, possible in western Cuba, and then this winter storm starts to work away. So coastal sections of the Atlantic region of Canada, that's where we could see some snow. But just as that moves away, that pattern, the El Nino pattern continues. Look at this building on Monday. This system next week could be even stronger. And what that means, well, a couple things. Severe weather outbreak possible. Southeast United States, giving you the heads up on that on Tuesday, especially later on Tuesday. Another snowmaker for spots. And then because of the track of this and strength, look at the tail end of this. This one has a better chance to bring slightly cooler weather in the northern Caribbean later next week. This is by Wednesday. You see it kind of winding up again, and a heads up, eastern regions, eastern Canada, Atlantic region of Canada, better chance of rain and snow out of this. And then this front will dive across, could even crank through near Jamaica, Cayman Islands, near Honduras and Belize. So again, slightly cooler weather getting even farther to the south with this front next week. And that's what I'll be tracking. Very active El Nino winter, and that forecast for our winter is as a whole on track. And with that said, not a lot of action in the short term. This is today into tomorrow. There's that one front that moves through Florida Florida, watching the northern Bahamas for some rain. This is our Saturday afternoon, and then moving from Saturday into Sunday. Could see some spotty showers here and there, not a lot, but all eyes will be on that next system up toward the United States, because that one, as I mentioned, bigger, and then eventually next week, that could bring us some slightly cooler weather in our northern sections. Until then, Trinidad and Tobago, 30% chance of a passing shower. Get back toward Grenada, only a 10% chance, which means a 90% chance of being dry. And if you're dry, we are hot, and not only hot, we are dusty in many spots. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, limited rain chance. Rain chance up to about 30% tomorrow for us in Barbados, a 30% chance as well for us in St. Lucia this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Rain chance, not a lot in Martinique, Dominica, another spot we need to get some rain. Rain chance stays kind of low, but it does go up slightly higher tomorrow. 30% chance of a passing shower, 20% chance tomorrow in Guadeloupe. Antigua and Barbuda, the rain chance is not high at all. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat. Consider yourself lucky if you get one of those showers. Anguilla and St. Bart's, about a 20% chance. Rain chance only 10%. St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, a 20% chance the next couple days in Puerto Rico, and about a 20 to 30% chance U.S. and British Virgin Islands. 20% rain chance through the Dominican Republic. Haiti, we are mainly dry. Rain chance this weekend, very minimal, mainly on the dry side through the weekend. Jamaica, spotty shower will be possible. And again, in Jamaica, I'm going to be watching that next front to see how close it gets later next week. Same thing across the Cayman Islands. Rain chance 40% tomorrow in the Bahamas, 50% chance Sunday. But again, this favors the northern Bahamas, could clip into the central Bahamas. Rain chance, southern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, about 20%. Watching a couple of these fronts, bringing a few spotty showers to Cuba. Rain chance not too high in Belize, not too high as well as we get over toward the Yucatan of Mexico. About a 10% chance in Aruba. That's it. Watching some of the dust. Rain chance stays limited as we get over toward Curacao and Bonaire. Skip through that a little bit quickly, but 10-20% chance. Bermuda, about a 30% chance today. Sunday, though, watching that next front moving in with a higher chance of rain and a 30% chance in Costa Rica. Rain chance up to 40% tomorrow in Guyana, and holding on to a 30% chance the next 3 days in Suriname. Swinging back toward Venezuela, rain chance stays limited with some dust around, especially in our eastern zone. So it's front after front just to the north. Again, northern Caribbean, we're going to have some cooler outbreaks. Northern, left out an H there. Got to check my spelling next time. Hotter to the south. Bigger front moving in next week, and that could clip by our northern areas with some cooler weather. I'll be tracking it for you. Thank you for being with me and sharing this channel. Have a great weekend ahead.